Hello everyone and welcome to my first deck guide of Echoes. It's been about 17 years since I've done a deck guide. That might be an exaggeration, but it's been a while, so I thought we may as well get going, start doing a few. This is my first one. It may look boring, it may look as if you've seen it before, but it's an important one because this is the counter to automatons. There you are. Problem solved. I'll end the video here, shall I? No, let's do it more. Automatons have been dubbed. Dubbed? Is that the right word? Probably not. We'll go with it. Have been declared. Have been said to be. Whatever. Yeah. It is rumoured. Ooh. That automatons are the best deck at the moment. Everyone's playing it. If you look up the ladder, just energy. You look up for replays or spectate. Automatons. You lose the will to live after a while. So, me being me, I tried to find a way of countering it, and this has done well. This sort of style of Decay deck has always been the best Decay deck ever since Decay was released. Well, maybe a few months after Decay was released, because when it was released, it had a few broken scrolls, like Return to Nature, that was busted then, and Puppet Soldier and a Road. That was pretty broken as well. But apart from that, only Nutrition, not a Road, Nutrition, that was busted. After all that, this is the best sort of Decay deck. And actually, it wasn't so quite so good in the last patch, was it, in Waypoints? But it's back again, and I'm happy because it's the deck I play best, and I'm winning 12-0 in ranked, facing Temper Order and automatons, as I said, quite a lot, and beating everything. Don't know why. Actually, probably do. But it's doing well. So we're going to go a bit more in-depth on this deck, and then I'll show you a game later on. It is a good game, and it really shows how powerful this deck can be against automatons. So, let's start off by looking at the creatures. Okay, so first we're going to look at the cheapest creatures. There are three, costed 1 to 2. We have Ripper. What's a Ripper's stats? 185 matches, 138 wins. Pretty good. So that's almost, what, above 70%. I'm not going to work it out in my head, because that would be daft, and we'd be here a while. But Ripper, I still rate it as the best one-drop in the game. I know there's Vater, and Dust Runner, but just in terms of pure stats, I just think Ripper's the best. 2-2 for 1. It's pure value, and this deck likes it. And it really benefits with Witch Doctor. You can just place it, just a 1-cost cheap human, and use it as cannon fodder if you need to. Also great with Watch Again, another cheap unit, just so you can place down and play Nekogeddon, and you get an attacking husk, which is great. Lord Darkling. This is a creature which has fallen to the wayside recently in Decay decks. A lot of people are going with the Infested Husk and Ilmi Tribesman combo as their 2-drops. I'm old-fashioned. Still going with Lord Darklings, but I'm modernising with my mares. Come to that in a minute. Lord Darklings, you still need them. They're really good. So many games you'll find yourself just needing an extra bit of damage, and Lord Darklings get you there. That's pretty much all they do. Well, they do a bit more than that. You can be sneaky when they like to be a bit versatile. You can sacrifice themselves. They can sacrifice themselves to buff up your units, like your Rot Eaters, so they don't die to burn. They can make Harvesters attack. They can get rid of Infectious Blights. They can do a few things. So that's why I like having Darklings in my deck. And of course, yeah, the extra damage to idols is always useful, especially against, like, Mez, for example. You need Darklings. Not a huge fan of a new art bonus, but whatever. Still pretty good. My mare. This is OP as hell. Why isn't anyone playing it? Okay, it's not OP, but it's really good. A 4-5 for 2 is what this is. Okay, sure, you have to put in a bit of effort for it to work like that, but it's really good. Those 2 losses were in a sort of yellow Decay variation of this deck. Oh no, it wasn't that. It was my Growth Decay aggro deck, which was a complete failure. But yeah, it's doing really well, my mare. See how much damage it's done, just for a 2-drop. I think this one has a bit more. 48 damage. When it's been K'd 12 times. Absolutely insane. So, this used to be Ilmir Tribesman, which offered you a bit more health, was a bit slower. But later on in the game, it didn't do as much. Whereas my mare, you know, it gets bigger whilst it's on the field. You can play it as a 2-2, and a few turns later when you take it on idle, it becomes a 4-5. It's really, really good. And it's important in this deck as well, because energy, you know, has removal. But if you just keep playing massive units, there's only so much they can do. They only have 3 VDs and 3 potency bursts, if they run VDs at all. Potency burst? Did I say potency? Potency burst. I think I'm right. So yeah, the more big creatures you can play, the better. And playing a 4-5 for 2 is really, really good. So that's why my mare's in there. And yeah, not much more you can say about it. It's not undead. A lot of people think it's undead. It's not. But yeah, my mare. I managed to get it nerfed from a 5-5 to 4-5 because I thought 5-5 was too much. But yeah, 4-5, still really, really good value and plays because it's strong. Okay, so that's for 1 and 2 cost creatures. I haven't done a deck in a while, which is why I am speaking weirdly and don't know what to say. So we're going to look at the 3 cost and 4 cost creatures now. Okay, first up we have Harvester, an old favourite. How's Harvester doing? 133 wins. Oh, it's not doing as well. What's going on for Harvester? 409 matches. Oh, bloody hell. How's this one doing? 409 as well. Oh. Okay. So, Harvester. Yeah. Still a really, really good Decay creature. Even though... I was about to say even though it doesn't have 6 health anymore. That was about 2 years ago now, wasn't it? Yeah, 854 for 3. It's a lot of attack. Countdown's dead easy to get down with all the removal we have in the deck. Really helps set off Dominion for your Maya Mares and for your Nuru. Yeah, it's just a huge threat, and you can use this just to distract your opponents. Really, they will see this as the threat whilst everything else is going on. You just don't care. They will waste hardcore removal just to stop this from attacking. So you know, you got your Harvester like on 1 countdown, say. They will play a VD to kill this. In which you're happy. You've traded a 3-cost creature for a 6-cost spell. Meanwhile, you got other things that are attacking. You've got like a 4-4 Rossi to say. And, you know, they've stopped your Harvester attacking, but you still got other things going on. You still got your Lifestealers, your Witch Doctors, and all sorts. So, this is important. It does a lot of damage, but it's also a distraction from what you're really trying to do. So, Harvester, good value. How's Rotita doing? 45 games? Sorry, I'm distracted by looking at my stats. I'm trying to see if I've played anything more than 400 matches with. I'm trying to work out what deck did I play Harvester and not Rot-Eater. That's interesting. Rot-Eaters. Basically kill growth. If you're playing against a growth deck, play these over Harvesters pretty much all the time. Just because they get so huge. The case somewhat the same against Order. Not as much. But yeah. These get big very quickly. Against Energy, you can play Lord Darkling turn 2. Don't play this turn 3, and play it turn 4. Sack the Darkling, make this 4 attack and 4 health. Which is not as relevant now that Potency Burst is a thing. And Energy can actually deal 4 damage now. Which isn't fair. But yeah, Ilmir Rot-Eater can get very big, very easily. And it's a scroll that benefits from death. And that's what this deck does. Things die, this gets bigger. Oh, it's great against removal decks, like, not removal decks, obviously it's good against. Growth Decay, that's it. Like, they quake and frostgale you, and then this gets big. Same with Harvester. But this just gets huge, and they can't do anything about it. When you snipe idols, and you win. It's fantastic. Packhusk, the only other new Echo Scroll in this deck. There's not many. Decay didn't really get too much in this set. I haven't tested that. Corpse Rider's okay. Undead's pretty decent. Dirty Grasp, fine. Essence Garb is good. Aggro Decay, but you don't really want it in a sorted deck. Corpse Theft is fun. Doomteller's interesting. Sleep Moratorium, meh. Varus, meh. So, don't have much options, and I like strong, stable creatures, which is why we've got Packhusk. It's a 4 health creature for 3. And that's good. You don't really care about the stats. So this is kind of a place for Ilmir Tribesmen. So I think that's why we can afford to run Myrmare as the lower health units, because we've got Pakusk, turn 3 to use as defense instead. And you draw a scroll when it dies. That's pretty much it. It's just a wall, and you get value. It's undead as well, so Nuru can buff it. Yeah. It's just something that doesn't die easily, and that's what you need with this sort of deck. Just things that don't die easily. Blightbearer. Check the stats. Right. It may cost 4. It used to cost 3. It's amazing when it costs 3. Now it costs 4, which, again, that change happened a long time ago, didn't it? I don't even know why I'm mentioning it. Out of habit, maybe. But it's still an important scroll. It deals well with growth and order decks. You just stick it down and things get poisoned and they can't do anything about it. Unfortunately, you can't really use it as a wall too much. Because you want to put it in front of Rot Eaters and Witch Doctors, but you can't. But it's just a great way to defend an idol and, you know, punish your opponent for killing it. And it's another way of being clever with this deck. You can kill it. You can kill it yourself and poison units. You know, don't be afraid to like damning curse your own Blightbearer just to poison a row of stuff. That's not a bad play. There was a game that I was commentating on a while back where the player could have damning cursed his own Blightbearer and cluster hexed, which would have wiped out like a Witch Doctor, a Harvester, and something else. And he didn't do it because he wasn't thinking. But Blightbearer, you can kill it yourself and do things, and it's amazing. Cursemonger, maybe up there as the best Decay scroll, maybe. Maybe not. There's so many. 3/2/4 range attack for 4 range attack. Semi-important. There's that copper automaton. Not copper. What's it called? The energy thing. I don't know what things are called. Blast. No, blast a big one. Canister. Is that it? Canister automaton. Oh, I got there in the end. Cursemonger's good at killing it because it's got range attack, and range attack isn't melee. So if I even played this, I've never played Canister automaton. I haven't played automatons yet. I refuse. So yeah, Cursemonger. Really, really good. Ooh. No, the alts have been revealed. What do you know about those? I don't know. That one's not me. That one is. That one is. I don't even know what that is. That must be Blinky down there. Yeah. Who was that? I don't know. Yeah, Cursemonger combines well with Brainlance, obviously. Combines well against all the things with armour, because you just weaken them slightly. And really important to take out structures, because they've got quite a lot of health and you can't target them, so just pinging them down with a bit of curse is always useful. So that's for 3 and 4 cost creatures. Now we're going to look at the bigger stuff. So we start with Lifestealer. It's a 4/2/5 for 5, and when it deals damage, it is healed by 2. For a long time I've been undecided over whether the change to its healing, like it used to, when it destroyed a unit, or was it a creature? One of them. It healed itself fully. Now it's when it deals damage, it heals itself by 2. I think this is actually a buff. Now that healing gets rid of poison, it's so much easier to just remove it. And it's easy to set off. You just damage an idol and it'll heal itself. So I think Lifestealer is better. And it's huge. It's another big unit, just extracts energy from what you're doing. You just place it and, like, yep, waste removal. We've got better things going on. And, yeah, it's just a big creature. 4 attacks is important. There's a lot of things with 4 health. And Lifestealer can deal with them. So we've got that in. Lifestealer, I used to have 3. But I stuck it in Nuru just because I wanted to deal with the Aegis battle decks. But you can take out Nuru and put in another Lifestealer if you want. Just because they're so good. Oblivion Seeker. Cost 5, so 2/2/3 with range attack. When it's destroyed, draw 2 scrolls. I always believe that in a Decay versus Decay matchup, whoever plays most Oblivion Seekers is going to be the winner, and that usually holds true. Not as important against energy. I'd play Lifestealer over Oblivion Seeker almost every time, just because of the aforementioned thing that it's just harder to kill. Yeah, drawing 2 scrolls and offering wall effects is pretty good. It's done quite a bit of damage. I suppose it's been played 340 times. But yeah, Oblivion Seeker, pretty much in every sort of Decay deck of this style. Always really important. Ilmir Witch Doctor, a big bad thing in Decay. So 45 for 6 with ranged attack, and when a human creature adjacent to Ilmir Witch Doctor is destroyed, a husk is summoned in its place. So this just stops your opponent in its tracks unless it's dealt with. It's not going to be able to get through to your bigger stuff. You can just protect your harvesters, your cursemongers, your Nuru. Just by placing humans in front of them, and it's unable to bash through. Stops growth, really, mainly. Just kills growth. I did try the new 6-drop, Varus, but I found that it's just too weak to start off with. Sure, it's great later on when you're taking out all the idols, but it will just be a 3-2, even as a 5. The 6 is not brilliant. Just you want things to survive with this deck. Longer you keep things longer you can keep things surviving, the better. If you can get husks from Witch Doctor, brilliant, because then you get sort of double death effect. So they say kill a Ripper, you get a husk. You have to kill the husk as well. So that's an extra countdown on your harvester ticking down. That's an extra buff on your Rot Eater. It's an extra still another unit for Necrogeddon. And it all adds up. So Witch Doctor is definitely the best still in that 6 box. Oh, that's a High Guard. If you want to be mad, you can play that, but I would still prefer Witch Doctor. And then finally Nuru. As I said, it's just in here just to mess around with the Eager to Battle decks, because it'll come in with haste, and that's hilarious. No other reason than that. And also, I just like having a big champion in my deck, so that's why Nuru's in. I've probably played it. It's dealt 1 damage. How did it manage that? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's also just we've got an extra undead unit in this deck in Pack Husk now, so we can take advantage of its Dominion effect quite a bit more, whereas before we only had hardly anything. What was undead in the deck? Was it just husks? Just what we spawned? It might have been. I'm getting sidetracked again. But yeah, Nuru, still good, just as a one-off. Buffs up your husks and things. Oh, Harvester! Harvester was undead. Gets him out to 10 attack. That's fun as well. But yeah. I'm yet to live the Eager to Battle dream, but when you do, it'll be worth it. But as I said, you can move it and play another Life Stealer instead if you so wish. I'm speaking way too long now, so that's all the creatures. Next we're going to look at the removal. Right, so Languid, it's a 3-of, it's a 2-cost enchantment. Enchanted unit's attack is decreased by 2, and when Languid comes into play, draw 1 scroll. So this is excellent against automatons because Gun Automaton has 2 attack, Canister Automaton has 2 attack, Blast Automaton has 2 attack, Scout Automatons have 1, with another Scout is 2. Just nerfs them completely. High Smuggler, if it gets played, has 2 attack. Everything has 2 attack, apart from everything else that doesn't. So, Languid really can buy you time. It's also good against Order, quite a few skirmishers. It's also good against Growth, Brave. It's just good against everything. Replaces itself, nerfs a creature, that's all you need to ask. Yeah. Against Aging Knight, die Aging Knight. Brain Lice, cost 3, enchanted creature becomes poisoned. When it is destroyed, draw 1 scroll. Not much to say about this, but it combines with Cursemonger well. Offers you a bit more removal, again draws you a scroll. We like drawing scrolls in this deck. There are 4 scrolls that draw you a card. That might be wrong. There's Brain Lice, Languid, Pack Husk, and Oblivion Seeker. I think that's it. Yes. So, more times we can draw cards, the better off we're going to be. So, Brain Lice offers removal and card draw at the same time. So, pretty good. And automatons, they don't really have a lot of high health, so you can just easily ping off a Scout Automaton or an Echimaton. Really good against Echimatons. Another thing for Languid, brings down Echimaton's attack if it's above 3. So, that's a good thing. Soulsteel. Pretty rubbish at the moment, actually. There's not many targets just with 2 health outright. You have to deal damage first and then Soulsteel. But when you do, it offers you so much value, but I'll still run 3. When you face growth, rare now, I don't really see much growth going on. There's quite a lot of 2 health creatures in that, so you can use Soulsteel there. Temple Order can be good against Temple Order. Aging Knight, Wing Soldier, a few targets there. And maybe a damaged wing shield. It's always useful there. But against automatons, you don't really get much of a chance to play Soulsteel. Unless you just damage, say, a Blast Automaton, and then you can use it. But still run 3, just because they're good. And then Damning Curse, still don't know what it's got taxing. I think if it's going to just cost it 5 if you think it's that strong, but I still don't like taxing. Destroy a creature, units you control are dealt 1 magic damage. Now, Tempo Order decks at the moment run... Oh, I am rubbish with names. This thing, I've gone past it. Where is it? I can see it, I can see it. Grounds of a Fallen, that's it. Pretty much all Tempo Order decks run this. It gives all humans magic resistance 1. Well, you run quite a few humans, so we can play Damning Curse and not deal our humans, which is pretty good. So actually, in the Tempo Order matchup, if your opponent plays Grounds of a Fallen, it benefits you more often than it does your opponent. So we like Damning Curse and Grounds of a Fallen. Helps to set off your Harvesters, your Watchers, and so on. You know the drill. It just gets quite expensive quite quickly because of stupid taxing. So that's for removal, and finally we have the fun bit, which is the Watchageddon. Watcher! People don't run it anymore. I still do because it's good. Look at the damage. Look at the damage! 43 times I've played it. It's done 254 damage. Only owned by me. Ha. Go on. So, Watcher, not 4 for 2. When a unit adjacent to Watcher is destroyed by non-combat damage or death effects, Watcher deals 2 damage to a random opponent's idol. So this is how we beat mono energy structures. This is, in a way, just allows us to win out of nowhere. We just drop a Watcher, Necrogeddon, and we win. Offers us protection against removal, which you can do. It's also just a good wall. You can just play it turn... Don't be afraid to just play it turn 2 as a wall and just hide behind it. There's nothing wrong with that. It is still a full health unit. And it's hard for something like Decay to get through, so we'll play it turn 2, and you're not super sad. I would play it on the front, not the middle, if you're playing it early. Play it on the front, so you get more benefits from it if you're just hiding behind it, rather than hoping to get that extra 2 damage by placing it in the middle. And we've got Necrogeddon, best Decay scroll, I'm saying it now. Sacrifice all creatures you control. Creatures sacrificed this way are replaced by husks at countdown 0. It has been played 238 times, and oh, that's pretty rubbish. Well, this one. That's better. 437 matches, 289 wins. I had a game the other day against someone, Jefferson, I think it was, who was playing this weird order deck. It's quite cool, actually. I played Necrogeddon about 4 or 5 turns in a row, and just kept on drawing it. It's during my deck cycle, so I just kept on drawing it. And the 1 min game, it is insane. Allows things to die on your side, so you can poison your opponent's creatures, you can draw more scrolls, you can play it next to a Watcher, and lots of damage happens. That's mainly the sort of extra win condition we have in this deck. And it just takes your opponent by surprise. Also, this kills Tempo Order. As soon as you play your first Necrogeddon, you win, basically. There's not much they can do to come back against Decay when you've played Necrogeddon. So, one final time, we're going to go over the deck, and then I will show you a game. So again, the deck has 3 Rippers, 3 Languids, 3 Lord Darklings, 3 Mire, 2 Watcher, 3 Brainlice, 3 Harvester, 3 Rot Eaters, 3 Pack Husks, 3 Soul Steals, 3 Blight Blowers, 3 Cursemongers, 3 Damning Curse, 2 Life Sealers, 3 Oblivion Seekers, 3 Witch Doctors, 3 Necrogeddons, and a Nuru Flesh Seamstress. I don't know if anyone ever actually says that, we just say Nuru, don't we? But yeah, general strategy is as always, just bash in on the idols, get value from your things dying, and finish your opponent off with a Watcher Necrogeddon. How much simpler could it get? The only problem is it struggles to come back in games when your opponent's got a bit of a board presence. So you have to be very particular in what you do and think 3 moves, maybe 2 or 3 moves ahead sometimes, just so things don't die. Yeah, I'm going to show you a game now, because you probably had enough of me talking. Well, I'm going to talk in the game, so tough. It's a game against Nerp that I had today, and he's playing automatons. Yeah. Because he is evil. And don't be evil. If you are a fan of my videos, don't play automatons. You can join me in the anti-automaton movement. The AAM. The AM, there you are. If you're a member of AM, I like you. But yeah, we have replays now, so I can show you that game. It will be quickened up because the replay feature slows it down. No, quickens it up. What am I on about? Can't speak. But yeah, I'll show you that now, and you'll just get a glimpse, well, hopefully more than a glimpse, a good showing of why this deck is good against automatons and why you should play it in this current meta. Okay, so Nerp is on the right, I'm on the left. Obviously, he's playing his automaton deck and going first. No, Icy Fire Dragon, I can't right now, I'm doing a video. Distracting me, so confusing. Shame on you, I'm saying shame on you because he's playing automatons, which is illegal. So unfortunately he doesn't get anything down turn 2, so I can't language, so I just play a Mimir, which is still pretty good. Spark doesn't seem to be played so much now as well, so good reason to be playing Mimir. He gets Violi Forge, unfortunately. Decides to play in the middle, which angers me, because people don't give up on the middle anymore. They just don't give it up. You just learn when they're defeated. So I do a play, which I don't normally do, which is play language just to draw scroll. Hate doing that, but I did it for some reason. He gets a burn turn 4, which, you know, that's the energies thing. He keeps hold of a stone ending, but that's another benefit of this deck. You don't actually play halls. And there's quite a lot of anti-lingering spells right now, so it just makes them just dead cards. So it's kind of a waste of aim in this game. We get turn 4 Cursemonger. We have a good curve as well. Turn 5 last year, turn 6 Witch Doctor. I can't speak. He gets his Blast Auto, so it would have been good to have that Languid to play on it, but I did sacrifice it for the curve. We've still got a Damning Curse in hand, so we can use that on that later if need be. Running out of Necrogeddons, we're using those early, which I wasn't too happy about, but obviously didn't have a choice. Oh, excuse me. I've just eaten. And now I'm hiccuping. He has Potency Burst. This is the new thing for energy. Allows him to deal 4 damage, which is highly irritating. So he's just 1-for-1ing me whilst getting value from his forge, so at the moment I am getting thrashed. I decided to play a Witch Doctor instead of a Damning Curse, just because this helps develop my board. If I just play a Damning Curse and he has another Potency Burst, I'm just in so much trouble. I'm not doing anything. Yeah, this Witch Doctor allows things to stay alive. I have another creature to threaten my board. This is really how you should play Decay, just try and get creatures on the board, and then you use the removal after that. If you just go removal, you're not going to get too far. He gets a couple automaton, which is dangerous, so obviously I hope to draw Soul Steal. This is probably the only target for Soul Steal. Let's have a Damning Curse, just because if I play a Damning Curse here, this comes in burn range, and there's definitely really want a Damning Curse either. So I want to use the Ripper to sort of just defend a bit more. And I just end up playing everything. Use the Watch to defend the Life Stealer. Life Stealer gets healed, which is good. Yeah, just using everything to defend. Not bothered about using Watcher as its intended function, which is to deal damage to idols at this point. We're just trying to, you know, keep our stuff alive. So he's just forced to trade 1-for-1 here, which I'm happy about. It means I now get to take out the Automator Forge, which is a huge thing for me. It just allows me to, well, take out structures are really hard to deal with for Decay. Unless you're playing like I can't remember what it's called. Unbind, that's it. Unless you're playing Unbind, it's really hard just to take him out. So he gets a burn, which is sad for me because now he can kill the Ripper without me getting a husk. So at the moment, it's not looking great. He's got the Excogitator on the board. He's got the 3 attack Ekamaton, and we're kind of running out of stuff. And that's my 3rd Necrogeddon, I think. I decided to play Languid on the Ekamaton just to deny him of the value of getting extra resources. Could have played it on the Canister Automaton, but I'm sort of cautious about if I allow him to go up to 7 for free, like if I would have done. He can then sack resources and start playing power trips and getting card draw there, which I don't really want him to do. So the more I can deny him energy, the better. This play of pumping the Excogitator, I don't really agree with. I think playing the Cannon Automaton might have been better there. Getting a Son Giant is still quite a big threat, so it's not too bad. But getting Cannon Automaton would have been a huge problem for me to deal with. Soul Steal goes away just because there's just no targets. And we're forced to just run away here just because the Son Giant is a threat, and we just move down here. Hope he doesn't have a Thunder Surge. And yeah, we're also looking to take out this bottom idol. That's what this play does, instead of just trying to defend the middle and hope to survive. Because if we take out this idol, then obviously Dominion's active and this becomes big. This will be a 4-4. Again, he just pumps, and I think maybe playing the Cannon Automaton would have been better there. Because a Cannon Automaton is more of a threat than a Scout Automaton, that's for sure. And that's just going to count down regularly. So, we get stuff, take out the bottom idol. Rotis is not the most ideal place, but we don't care. Gets to play a Cursemonger, and just because we need more creatures on the board, we play a Darkling as well. Next to Rotis, obviously, because we want the buff. Also just stops him from sniping this idol, which would have been pretty bad for me. If he just takes this out, then it would have been an entirely different game. Fortunately, he didn't draw any removal, so he couldn't do that play. And for some reason again he pumps the Excogitator, which I'm thrilled about. Because now I have the play of being able to just take out this with my Rot Eater and Damning Curse for Solemn Giant, which is good. Oh, I sort of predicted that. So future stuff going on there. I thought I had it in hand. But yeah, get to Damning Curse for Solemn Giant, take out this. Everything's attacking next turn. So many huge things. Sure, they're on 3 health, but they're still huge. You're going to be able to take out 1, maybe 2 of them, and then Harvester will attack. So it's good. Here's a Sudden Eruption, which can hurt me. But again, he just pumps. And I'm thrilled about this, because just look at what I've got. I can just kill things. Now, I know why he's doing this, because he plans on playing Sudden Eruption, then Sudden Eruption, and removing everything. And then he's still got lots of card advantage. But I'm not too bothered. My lifesteal is going to be healed, so it's still going to be hard to deal with. I've got a Harvester attacking next turn. I've killed 3 of the Scout Automaton this turn. I've got a Witch Doctor on the board, so it's going to keep things alive. So my board is just looking great right now. His isn't looking terrific. But he does draw the burn to deal with the Harvester, which was annoying, but I wasn't too bothered. It was more of a... See what I mean by distraction? He's taking up the Harvester, yet I've got things on the board here, and he's still got to try and deal with these. He gets a Blast Auto. Decided about pumping the Excogitator. He's had enough of that. Cleaving Seeker, that goes. We don't really need card draw right now. We're kind of where we want to be. We just want to keep playing big threats, and I decided to play another Witch Doctor because I want another human on the front, and just another 4/5 is, you know, huge. If you just VD'd up a Witch Doctor when I had one on the field, that would be enjoyable. Yeah, I didn't know I was ready. Yes, the Thunder Surge. Now, this is where the game sort of starts turning. Obviously, a Thunder Surge isn't great for me because everything's now virtually dead. And we know he's got the Sudden Eruption in hand, so my board can potentially almost get wiped. So, Lifestealer healing itself here is pretty important. Start trying to play around Thunder Surge a bit more than I would. And decide to bring this idol down to quite low. I did this just because I don't want to move my units up to take out this in case of another Thunder Surge, so I tried to Brainlice it. And just dealing damage is good, because I can start putting pressure on my opponents even more, so just the threat of a Necrogeddon now with a Watcher, or just Darkenings is, you know, huge. So he gets the Sudden Eruption, doesn't hit this, which is unfortunate for him. So my Harvester's attacking, but it's hardly going to do any damage. But it's enough. Now I have the option of dealing damage here to the idol. But I decided to take up a Scout Automaton instead, just because keeping things off the board for me, pretty good. And now that Dominion's active, I get to play a Mire as a 4/5. I'm still trying to deny value from Thunder Surge, so I'm trying to split them up. I don't know if this is necessarily the correct positioning for Mire, but we were going with it. She's up to 10 resources now. Gets to play a Scout in the Copper. Oh, I guess Potency Burst. I've completely forgotten what happened. Confusing. But yeah, he's still got Scouts. This Excogitator right now, I can just sort of ignore. I mean, sure, he's getting Scout Automatons, but he's having to put 6 energy resources into a turn. Meanwhile, I'm matching him with massive creatures, and he's still having to deal with these, so I'm not too bothered about this. This is irrelevant right now. It's been on the field for, what, like 10 turns probably? Maybe more. And, you know, it's not really done too much. We've just got so many threats on board right now. Finally, he plays the Cannon Automaton, and the Copper. And the Wind Up, or does he pump? Plays the Wind Up. And Potion. Yeah. And he decides to Potion the Excog, which you can understand, it's a really, really powerful energy scroll. But I'm not bothered about that. I'm not looking at, you know, taking that out anymore. I'm just wanting to deal damage. Which is what I decided to do. I used the Witch Doctor Mire to take out this, deal 4 damage to the idol. I've then got the Darkling, which would bring it down to 2. And with so many things next to a Watcher, if you decide to try and kill things, there's a huge chance that things would die. I played the Rip up there, which is a mistake. It should be down here. Fortunately, it didn't cost me. I mean, just look at the board I developed compared to his and his Excogitator. So he gets the Thunder Surge, decides to YOLO it because he doesn't really have much choice. Darkling dies, and I get a ping on the idle. So that's how you take out automatons against one of the best players in the game. Pretty easily as well. We have Decay, which was considered pretty weak, even by myself when this patch came out. But there you go. So thanks for watching. I hope you can forgive me for rambling on like I did, and I hope you enjoyed the deck. It's pretty good. So have fun, and I will see you next time.